The most important thing, I think, that stands out for me from working with Wade, moving from another state can be really unsettling. Moving somewhere that you are not familiar with and not familiar with the communities or the schools was an exceptional challenge, moving from out of state. And I felt really comfortable working with Wade because I felt like he held our hand through every step of the process and repeatedly made me feel like he was looking out for our best interest, that he had the answers to all the questions that we asked, and if he didn't, he was willing to be resourceful enough to find the answers for us. He gave us a plethora of options and choices, spent a great deal of time working with us before we even pulled the trigger on the home purchase, and that made us feel so much more comfortable packing up our children and packing up our home and moving all the way across the country.
I'd have to agree. From the first time that we had an initial interview with Wade, it really took a lot of the unknowns out of the equation, and I was comfortable that we had the right realtor and that we were going to get not only the right advice in terms of a home and where we would ultimately live, but really other things that go together with where you live, what the neighborhood is like, where people go out to eat, where people go hiking, where people go skiing, just anything you ever really wanted to know about living in a community was made available to us, and we weren't short of questions, that's for sure.
Sometimes it was even just the simplest thing, like we really liked a home that we saw on the other side of the highway, and Wade was honest enough to say, this is a great home for the money, this would be a good home for you, but what you need to consider is how far a distance your children would need to ride their bikes to access the majority of children that will be going to their elementary school and middle school. And that was something that we would not have even thought of, being so new to the area.
Absolutely, Wade has complete expertise in this whole Columbine Valley marketplace, and that's really you can't put a price on that. There never was a point in time where I didn't have confidence that he didn't have the right answer for whatever question you posed.
Absolutely, I agree. And when it was time to pull the trigger on the purchase of a home, we found the absolute perfect one for us. It had 98% of everything on our wish list, and Wade knew our wish list inside and out. He found us just the right fit for our budget, and we couldn't be happier.
I think the reason he found us the right house was because he's such a great listener. And through the introductory call, from the market tour, if you remember, he did a lot of listening. He let us do the talking, and he soaked it all in and processed everything that we said, or almost everything we didn't say was also equally important to him. And I think that helped him ultimately know exactly what we were looking for. And when it came down to really narrowing our search, I had no doubt when he'd call us up and say, I found a house, I think you should see this. It really went a long way, because we had eliminated so many aspects of homes that we would not find interesting.
Absolutely. And this was only the second home we had ever bought, so we weren't home buying virgins per se, but we did get quite the lesson from Wade. He did not stop at pulling up carpets and looking at walls and bringing us into basement utility rooms, and we got quite the lesson, and I know that I learned a lot from Wade during the process.